Good day. I'm Wynand Langenhoven from Peripheral Vision, and I'm very keen to show you our demonstration video of our streaming studio. So the applications for the technology we're showing you here today are educational institutions like, for example, universities and schools, and also corporate training centers. Other applications is marketing environments. For example, if you want to address a large audience with a new product release, obviously it's done and used in church technology or in churches for the pastor to address large audiences. And then also the live events environment. Live events industry has suffered quite badly during this COVID lockdown, and it's very much of interest to that industry to create a studio that would allow users to come in and actually use the studio technology to address their audience. The cloud end of these solutions are massive. It's another conversation on its own, and we're able to enter into that kind of conversation, adoption of which platform we're going to be using on the other end, but that is not the part of this demo today. That is not the discussion. It's very much of interest to that. The solution we're going to show you here today is very good quality. You can hear it from the audio that is coming from me right now, the video quality. The whole studio environment is designed to give good quality. The lighting can probably be improved, which we didn't do in a professional manner, but that would obviously be part of the design. The solution is integrated, everything works together and automated, which you will see now. And the elements that are included here are Extron from the point of view of the streaming hardware. So the actual stream that is coming from here now is coming from the streaming hardware of Extron. It's a control solution that's involved here. There's switching equipment and obviously also audio equipment. There's a Sennheiser ceiling microphone installed here. That Sennheiser microphone actually tracks the audio and where the audio is coming from in the studio, and that is what is used as part of this tracking or the automation technology that you're going to see there. AVA elements are in here from a PTZ camera point of view and a document camera, and Avocor touchscreen technology and Barco ClickShare. So I'm actually using Barco ClickShare to send this presentation wirelessly into the system that I'm using right now. That Sennheiser microphone. The studio goes into modes, and currently I'm in lectern mode. Lectern mode allows me to create a certain layout, and what you're seeing on screen at the moment is a layout that is meant for this application. There's logos on the bottom, some advertising at the top. My PowerPoint presentation is on the right-hand side, equal size to the video image, which is on the left-hand side. That's a mode. We can change the modes completely. We could make the lectern mode different to what you're seeing now, but the whole point is that the automation here invokes different modes when I invoke those different aspects of the studio. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go into the document camera mode. So that's a mode where the ceiling microphone will be triggered by the audio coming from me at the document camera, and you'll see the whole layout changing. So I'm going to go to the document camera, and when I walk to the document camera, the camera preset changes. The layout has changed automatically. I didn't do a thing. I didn't push any buttons. I didn't reconfigure any equipment. And I've got a live document sitting on here. I can take a pen and start writing on this live demo. I can also use the document camera for the purposes of showing objects. So, for example, an object, and this is actually a very effective way to show or to use a document camera. I think of, for example, legal environments. You may want to show some evidence. This is a great way to do that as well. So now I am maintaining eye contact. I probably lost some eye contact during that session at the document camera, but what I would obviously try and do at all times is talk to the camera to maintain eye contact with you. And what I'm going to do now is go back to my lectern position, and when the audio comes from this lectern position, automatically everything goes back to my lectern mode. The equal size of the two screens, of the two sides of the video is done automatically. I now go through my presentation, and it talks about the next mode, which is the electronic whiteboard mode. So the system is equipped with an electronic whiteboard. If I walk to the electronic whiteboard and start talking from there, automatically you will see the layout and mode of this studio changing. And so I'm now moving to the lectern. PTZ camera comes to me at a preset. The layout of the screen has changed completely. I now have an electronic whiteboard that I can start drawing on and highlight different aspects of the technology that we're using here, talking about Extron elements, and I can circle them. I can do a very, very nice electronic whiteboarding session like that. When I'm finished with my whiteboard session, I go back to my lectern position and carry on with my presentation. And the screen has changed completely. I now have an electronic whiteboard. I'm straight back at the lectern, and the thing that I wanted to say as a last point is that the solution that you're seeing here is completely reconfigurable and configurable. So I can add elements in, I can take elements out, I can change the layout so that the layouts that are invoked for each of these modes is different to what you saw now. And the number of layouts and modes can be increased. And obviously, if each time you use the studio, you may want to not use an electronic whiteboard in one session, then that just will not be part of your presentation. But the studio itself is equipped with all the elements. I may not have wanted to use an electronic whiteboard. I can use a normal ink board and write with a pen and put a camera on that. That would be another mode of the studio. And that's the demo. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoyed it. And obviously, if each time you use the
something wrong with the sound. When you're sitting in this position, when you're standing here.
No, it's this. It's because it's playing in here. Okay, I'll have to do the whole thing again.
Babs, where's your notes on what you're actually saying? Because I thought maybe you could add one comment about you've chosen the best technology from. You know, when you talk about the products.
Yeah. There.
Consists of state-of-the-art technology.
Best of breed,
yeah. Yeah, best of breed. You can maybe say that. Also, initially, we can't see your hands, so. I can know you're gesturing, but I can't see them. I don't know why, for a long time. And then I did see them. It's weird, but yeah.
I'll try and bring my hands up higher.
Yeah, and then I'm wondering if you shouldn't sit on a black, not a, you know, because when you move to here, the camera still stays there for like a second.
You know what the problem is? That the chair collapses on me. Every time I sit down, it goes down, and I fall, and I get a fright.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's do another one.
Are you going to send me another link or same
No, same one. It's still going. So I'll just edit out what I want. Eh?
Okay. So then if it starts doing that noise again...
No, it won't.
Okay.
Okay, just close the door. Hi, I'm Wynand from Peripheral Vision, and I hope you're going to enjoy my demonstration today of our streaming studio technology. The applications for the technology I'm going to show you today is applicable to educational institutions such as universities and schools, also for corporate training centers, also in marketing environments. A company might want to market themselves and they can address large audiences through the streaming technology. In the churches, the pastor may want to address a large audience from a preaching situation, and of course the live events environment as well. The live events guys are very interested in this technology to be able to bring actually other persons that want to present to their audiences in your studio that you've set up. The cloud end of these solutions is a conversation on its own, not part of the subject matter today, but there is a massive scope of cloud end things, including YouTube and Facebook Live as public environments, and many, many other more education-oriented systems such as Panopto and Kaltura. That is not the subject of conversation today, but we can definitely enter into conversation regarding those sides of it, that aspect of it. The solution is made up of best-of-breed product technologies, including brands such as Extron, that does the actual streaming function, control function, video switching function, and obviously audio as well. There's a Sennheiser ceiling microphone installed here that is providing this very, very good quality. I can go anywhere in the space and be covered by the ceiling microphone. I don't have to have a microphone on me. We are using AVA PTZ cameras and document camera technology, AvaCore touchscreen technology, and Barco ClickShare. So I'm actually wirelessly sending this presentation to the system. So the solution is high quality. You can hear the quality of the audio. We could probably improve on the lighting. We haven't done that aspect of it, but that would be easily done. It's integrated and automated, which you will see now. So the system goes into lectern modes, and the lectern mode is just one mode, and it is invoked automatically by the system by the fact that the microphone tracks where the audio is coming from in the space. And I'm able to move around in the space, and as I move, the microphone is reporting my location to the Extron control system, and the Extron control system is invoking the different modes. So I'm going to now move from my lectern to my document camera to invoke that second mode, document camera mode. And you'll see automatically as I go there and talk from that location, the whole system will change in its layout. So I'm talking now from the document camera side of things, and straight away switching takes place. My camera image comes onto me. I can maintain eye contact by just looking at the camera all the time. And this is a live document camera session. I can take a pen and start annotating on it. I can also show objects. It's a very, very effective way to show objects within a document camera. I can zoom in, zoom out. And everything that happened here, the switching and layout change took place automatically just by me coming to this location and talking from this location. So I'm now going to go back to the lectern, and when I get back to the lectern, the camera will come straight to me in a PTZ mode, and the layout now changes to another mode, as you see there now, with equal size between camera and the presentation. And I'm able to continue at my lectern and continue with my presentation. The electronic whiteboard mode is another mode. So I may not want to use an electronic whiteboard. I could potentially use a normal ink pen board, whiteboard, and I could put a camera on that, and that could be the mode that I can do electronic whiteboarding into this function, into the studio and into the stream. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get up off my chair and go to the whiteboard, and just by me talking at that location, the layout will change again. So I'm now standing at the whiteboard. The camera preset is invoked that picks me up. I can maintain the eye contact. I'm now in an electronic whiteboarding session, and I can continue with my presentation at the electronic whiteboard where I'm highlighting a PTZ camera, a USB extender, and these are all parts of the solution that is made up of, that is used in a typical studio technology application like you're seeing there. I'm now going to go back to my lectern, and you'll see straight away as I talk and as I move to this location, the studio changes back into lectern mode. I'm busy with my presentation, and as a last point and part of this solution or the description here is the fact that the solution is completely configurable. The layouts that you're seeing are the layouts that I can decide on, and I would decide how I want to do it. You can see a bit of branding that is happening on the top and the bottom of the video. The number of modes, I could add another mode, which is that ink whiteboard session. The layouts and what they look like can be changed completely to what I prefer. And of course, the elements that make up the studio, I can have less elements or more elements. So I can actually address the studio station or studio streaming studio technology at different levels in terms of a pricing requirement. And that's my presentation. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, that bloody thing started wrong. Shut up. Hi, I'm Vainant from Peripheral Vision, and I hope you will enjoy my Streamy Studio technology demonstration today. The applications for the technology is very much useful in e-learning in educational institutions like universities and schools, as well as corporate training centers. Also in marketing, massive audiences can be addressed with the technology. In churches for the pastor to preach to large audiences, and the live events industry as well. The cloud end of these solutions is very much something that needs to be considered, but is not the scope of this presentation. But we can definitely engage with you to advise on either a public or a private solution. But it's the likes of YouTube, Facebook Live, Kaltura and Panopto are more private solutions, or should we say education solutions, and then there are also some others that are very focused on enterprise. The solution that we have set up here is based on best of breed technologies and brands like Extron, Sennheiser, Ava, Avacor and Barco ClickShare. Extron is doing the streaming, the control, the switching and the audio. Sennheiser ceiling microphone technology is creating the very good audio quality that you're hearing from me right now, and that is from a distance like this. And in fact, what it's doing in addition is it's tracking my location in the studio, which is creating the automation that I'm about to show you. Ava is doing the PTZ camera technology and the document camera technology. Avacor is the touchscreen technology, which we're going to be showing today. And Barco ClickShare. So my presentation is being sent wirelessly into the studio. Just by clicking the ClickShare button, I'm able to send my presentation in like that. So the studio goes into modes, and the mode I'm in right now is actually lectern mode. Lectern mode is a layout on screen, as you're seeing. It has an equal size video image of me and my PowerPoint presentation on the right, and there's some branding on the top and the bottom. That has all been designed according to what I was trying to achieve, and is completely configurable. I can decide how I want each layout to look on the stream, on the video stream going out. I can now talk about a second mode, which is the document camera mode, which will be invoked by me just moving there and talking from that location. And the tracking microphone picks up that I'm talking from there, and automatically the whole layout of the studio changes. So you'll see that now. So as I move from there to the document camera, you'll see immediately the camera presets to me. The input is switched on the system, and the layout of the screen that you're seeing changes to a layout which is a document camera. It's a live document camera. I can start writing on this live document camera. I can maintain eye contact with you. I can also show objects. Showing objects in a document camera is very, very effective. I can zoom in, zoom out. So it's a very effective way to show, for example, new designs of products. It might be in a legal environment where you're wanting to show exhibits and that type of thing. So that's a mode, and it was invoked by me just coming to the document camera and then talking from here. I did nothing. I didn't touch any touch panel buttons or do any equipment reconfiguring. And I'm now going to go back to my lectern. And just by me moving to my lectern and going to the lectern position, layout goes back to lectern mode, and I'm able to continue with my presentation. The next slide talks about the electronic whiteboard mode. Once again, all I'm going to do is walk to the electronic whiteboard and talk from there. So as I get up and I start walking across this way, and the audio is now coming from here, you'll see the camera comes to me. It's in a preset position that is meant for this particular mode. I'm now showing an electronic whiteboard input in the large screen area and just a small video image. I can now pick up my pen and I can start annotating over the electronic whiteboard. And in this case, it's a drawing of a typical Extron control and switching solution and streaming solution like we're using here today. When I move back to my lectern mode again, That's all I'm going to do, is just move there and talk from there, and automatically the solution turns around and becomes the mode, which is the presentation mode, and takes me to my second to last slide, which is talks about the fact that the solution that you're seeing here is completely configurable. I can change how many elements make it up. So I've got a document camera, I've got an electronic whiteboard. I might want to add an ink whiteboard, which I can put a camera onto and use that as an input. I could potentially put a digital signage input into the solution. That is another mode. The layouts that are being selected are completely configurable. I can decide how I want that, and I can program the system to do that automatically. And the number of modes and layouts. So that's the end of my presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it. If there's any interest, please contact us at sales@peripheralvision.co.za, and enjoy your day. Thank you. Hi, I'm Wynand. I'm with Peripheral Vision. Hi, I'm Wynand from Peripheral Vision. Hope you'll enjoy my streaming studio demonstration today. The applications of the technology I'm going to show you today are for e-learning in applications like or environments such as education. Hi, I'm Wynand from Peripheral Vision. I'm presenting on streaming studio technology today, and it has application in e-learning for universities and schools, corporate training centers, as well as marketing. It's great to address large markets with the streaming technology. Preaching, so the pastor could address a large congregation or a large audience, and live events is definitely relevant here as well. There's the other end of the solution, which is the cloud end, which is where you're streaming into, for example, YouTube and Facebook Live, which is more a public environment. Microsoft Stream is another one. But there's also solutions like that, which is very much learning oriented, like Kaltura and Panopto. And we're very willing to have conversations in advising what solutions you should think about and what they can do. The solution that we're showing you here today is very much selected out of premium brands, best of breed brands such as Extron, Sennheiser, Ava, Avocor, and Barco. The Extron does the switching, control, the streaming function itself is done by Extron, and the audio, whereas the Sennheiser microphone is actually picking up my voice as you're hearing it right now. But what's fantastic about it also is that it actually picks up where the audio is coming from in the room, and through a combination of Sennheiser and Extron, we can make the automation happen like you're going to see now. The Ava is the PTZ camera, which makes the camera track, and the document camera technology. Avocor is our best of breed electronic whiteboard technology. And of course, Barco ClickShare. So I'm actually presenting into the studio with ClickShare. I'll click the button out there, click it back in again. So my presentation is being wirelessly sent into the streaming studio environment. So the studio operates in different modes, and the mode that I'm in right now is called lectern mode. And I called it that way, and I showed or I selected the layout that you're seeing on screen right now completely by choice. So you'll see a bit of branding below it and above the video, but the video itself is shown as a mixture of two video images. It's the left side, which is me on camera, and the right hand side is my PowerPoint presentation. I can change that entirely, that my presentation mode should be something else. So next mode that I'm going to show you now is document camera mode, and this is where the automation becomes evident. If I move to the document camera and I start talking at the document camera, Sennheiser can detect that I've moved there. It reports that to Extron. Extron changes the entire layout of the studio, and so I'll show that to you now. If I move here to the document camera, the switch takes place right across to the mode that you're seeing there. The image of the video and the layout has changed, so the video has moved up into a small section at the top. The document camera has moved into a much larger area on screen. I can start annotating on screen and show sections of the drawing. I can also show objects. It's a great way to use a document camera. And so this is one of the modes, and obviously the selection of that mode once again is completely at my will, but it obviously is here to show a larger part of the screen on the document camera section and a small part on the video. So I'm going to go back to my lectern now, and as I talk from my lectern position, the mode switches back to my presentation, and I'm going to go back to my next slide. The PTZ camera position is on me now. The audio obviously is tracking me all the time. I can speak anywhere in the space without having a microphone on me, and you'll hear that the audio is great from all areas of the studio. The next mode is electronic whiteboard. So I'm going to now move to the electronic whiteboard. Once again, you'll see the mode changing. So as I walk across this way and talk from the electronic whiteboard, this system switches over entirely to the whiteboard. Once again, the video image is on the top left, and my whole screen has now gone across to the electronic whiteboard input. So if I pick up my pen, I have a live space that I can draw on, and that is shown completely. I'm able to maintain eye contact with you, and my electronic whiteboarding session is very, very effective in that manner. I'm going to go back to my lectern again and speak from my lectern position, and in doing so, the camera comes straight back to me. I carry on with my presentation, and to say that the solution that you're seeing here is completely configurable. Everything about it, the number of elements, the layouts, and what they look like and how they work, everything is configurable. The number of elements in the studio, if I wanted to, I could add a whiteboard that is normal ink whiteboard, and I could put a camera on it. That could be another input. I could put a digital signage input into the solution, which would be another mode. And that's the demonstration. I hope you enjoyed it. Any interest from your side or from any of your customers, please contact us at sales@peripheralvision.co.za. Thank you very much.